Montreal Canadiens head coach Marty St. Louis has had the interim tag removed by signing a 3-year deal with the club.
What are his plans? And how does he see the team going into the offseason ahead of the 2022-23 season? His first full season as a head coach in the NHL. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. The Montreal Canadiens were flying high after the 2020-21 season, and for good reason. After a frustrating season that saw Montreal change coaches, going from the experienced Stanley Cup winning Claude Julien in February to the zero NHL experienced Dom Ducharme, they still just squeezed into the playoffs. COVID-19, 2 8-game losing streaks, and a brutal schedule to end the season later, and Montreal were huge underdogs going into the first round of the playoffs versus Toronto.
It was 3-1.
The underdog Montreal Canadiens proved they were built for the playoffs by going to Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final, where they ran into a wall named Vasilevsky and a better team in the Tampa Bay Lightning. The 2021-22 season arrives, and Montreal is confident, despite the loss of key players to injury and free agency and an underwhelming group of off-season signings. No worries. Coach Dom knows what he's doing. We'll be fine. Except we weren't fine. And after 4 months of brutally bad, unwatchable hockey, the new management group of Gorton and Hughes pulled the plug and brought in another coach with zero NHL experience, and that was on February 9th. And that was in the form of Hockey Hall of Fame player Marty St. Louis, whose highest level of coaching experience was coaching his kids in Pee Wee. When I heard the announcement of Coach Marty's hiring, I never once thought about his lack of experience coaching, but instead thought,
if he could bring and instill the same attitude towards the game that he had his whole career, drive and determination, the ability to overcome the odds and jump the hurdles in front of him, if he could teach that to the players here, then things could change here. Finally, after 30 years of same old.
At coolhockey.com, you'll find your favorite team's officially licensed jersey. Blank, pre-sewn, or hand-sewn. Your favorite team, your favorite player's name and number on the back. Or hey, put your own name on the back. Competitive pricing, custom stitching, fast shipping. Coolhockey.com. Tell them Talking Habs sent you. Click the link in the description of this video. Coolhockey.com.
Marty St. Louis fought the odds his whole career and won. He's a winner through and through. From the first game he coached, I saw the change. The change in attitude, drive and determination, competition level. They didn't overcome the odds that night, but the players were happier and smiling again, and the game was fun to watch again as well. And I believe Cole Caulfield got a goal, which he hadn't done hardly at all up to this point. Coach Marty turned the team around in very short order to a path that's headed in the right direction. So here we are about to go into the offseason of the 2021-22 season, and to get prepared for the 2022-23 season. The Habs have first pick at the draft, and things are looking up. Now that Coach Marty has had the interim tag removed and is armed with a new 3-year deal, what will be his approach towards winning now and in the future? And his approach to developing the young players, including the first overall pick at the draft, and how much influence he has in that decision of who it'll be. In a recent press conference to announce his contract extension, Coach Marty talked a little about all those topics, and here are my thoughts and what he said about all those things.
He was asked if he's a good coach.
I feel like when I came into the league, I knew I had the ability to be a good player, said St. Louis, and he wasn't selected at the NHL draft. But it took me some time to prove to people that, yeah, I could execute in this league. As a coach, I feel the same way. I think I have experience and qualities that make me a good coach. But my actions, the way I succeed, will speak for itself. I believe in my own experience as a player, being a call-up, a guy in the American League, a scratch in the NHL, a fourth liner, a third liner, an all-star, penalty killer, power play guy. I've been in many situations that I think are so valuable in terms of experience in this league. I think that's a good self-analysis of who he was as a player and how it should relate to how he coaches. He recently said in an interview what made him a great player wasn't that he was the best, but that he was the best at getting better, learning, being coached. And I think that's what will make him a good coach, how he'll apply that to being a coach. I understand what my bench feels, everybody on my roster, because I felt everything they felt based on where they were on the depth chart or whatnot. The fact that I was able to play for a long time, I was able to be exposed to many different coaches, different situations on the ice. I've always been a student of the game. I feel I absorbed a lot of that. And now it's to try to teach that. I have the abilities to possibly be a good coach, just like I was a player, and now I have to prove it. And I'm looking forward to that. When St. Louis was first hired by the Canadiens, he was thankful the team gave him an opportunity to show what he could do as a coach. When people doubted he could make it as a player at 5'8", St. Louis' late mother would always tell him, "Show him, Marty." St. Louis showed Canadiens management he deserves the opportunity to continue coaching the team. You know, it's a great attitude from an intelligent hockey mind. If I'm a Habs player, I'd be so excited to have Marty as my coach and to hear my coach say the things that he says.
What goals has he set for next season in terms of winning and losing and developing players?
St. Louis said it's hard to set goals for the team next season until he sees which players he has at training camp following the NHL draft, free agency, and the salary cap situation. But the focus will remain on developing young players while creating a culture that focuses on things like attitude and work ethic. I don't like to lose, St. Louis said. But do I want to win in the short term, mindset goal, so to speak, at the price of not developing the young guys that are going to help you win for years? No, I don't want to risk that. I want to have the young guys, the prospects, the players that are here now reach their full potential. It seems like the right approach considering the unknowns concerning goaltending, defense, and hell, pretty much everywhere on the roster. Who will be leaving? Who will be coming in? With the cap situation the Habs are in, the unknowns are many and the knowns are relatively few. And it makes it a lot harder to set goals just yet. He has it right, though, that the one goal he knows he has is the development of a roster that will largely be made up of young players. Mistakes will be made and losses will happen. So to worry about won-lost records shouldn't be the focus for a young team. Getting your players to reach their potential individually and as a team will ensure Montreal wins in the long term. Chasing wins is the old way. Developing into winners is the new.
How do you feel about possibly coaching and developing the number one pick here in Montreal next season?
I think it would be a good situation for where we are as an organization for a number one pick to come and develop with the rest of the guys. Our young core here that is going to start to be part of our success. When Stammer came in Tampa, we weren't a very good team. When Vinny was drafted by Tampa, they weren't a very good team. But look where the organization is now. I think it's a good situation for whoever we pick, number one, that he's going to come in, and if he's ready to play, and if for his development it's best to be with the Montreal Canadiens next year, then it's going to be a great environment for him. What a change in direction for Montreal. I love that they want to develop the kids here in the NHL together. And I've mentioned this in videos before. And I also think that just like Cole Caulfield, who'll benefit from developing here under Marty. When they hired Marty St. Louis, that was a decision made instead of sending him down to the AHL to leave him here. And that was a great decision. Same goes for either Wright or Slavkovsky. Cooley's going to be going the college route. He's committed to college. So he won't be in Montreal next season if Montreal picks him. So if they do pick Cooley, don't expect him here next year.
He was asked how much of a say he'd have in the decision on the number one pick.
I'm not going in there and saying we need to do this this and that. St. Louis said when he asked about the what input he might have in who the Canadiens select. If they ask me my opinion, I will give it to them. It's not my decision. It's my decision who gets on the ice at what time in the game. That's the coach's decision. Do I go to Kent and Gortz and ask for their thoughts about players sometimes on my team, how they're playing? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's my decision. So I expect the same from Kent and Gortz to ask me my opinion on things, but it's not my decision to what they do. Can't argue with that logic. Everyone knows their role, it seems, on the team, and everyone contributes to the end result. Nothing wrong with that. He was also asked where will there be any changes to the coaching staff? So apparently Marty isn't planning on getting rid of any coaches, probably to the chagrin of a lot of fans who expected to see some changes with the coaches. What he did say, though, is they're possibly going to add another assistant. You know, if you consider all the injuries and everything that happened last year, maybe he feels that it wasn't a great opportunity for the coaches, you know, the power play, the penalty kill, to really show what they've got, having the players healthy and there regularly. And I know he knows a lot of these guys personally, and I think he's giving them another year. It's not such a bad idea. And adding another assistant, you know what, in today's day and age with the game, having the extra body around as an assistant, I don't think that could be bad. Obviously, as long as it's not, you know, like Savannah Faith.
He was asked how he sees the team for next season. Are they a contender for the playoffs, or are they a last place team?
Based on my experience, the 37 games that I coached, I don't think we were a 32nd place team, St. Louis said. Me saying that, I don't know how close we are to the playoffs either. I think we'll have a better idea as we progress here next year. Who's here in October and how we come out of the gate. We'll have a better pulse on where we are as a team. But to me, to tell you how far we are, I don't know. But we're not a 32nd place team. If you take away COVID and the injuries and a coach whose system was too complicated, Dom Ducharme, for half of last season, plus the games with no fans in the stands, I don't think Montreal would have been the last place team. I don't know if they would have made the playoffs either, which I really doubt anyway also. So if you take into account the amount of young players that'll play next season here, plus the loss of any veterans that they move out,
Petrie, Hoffman, etc.
I don't see how Montreal moves too far out of the basement. I don't think they'll finish last.
Arizona?
But I also don't think they make the postseason. It'll be somewhere in between, this is my opinion, say 23rd to 27th. So that's 6th to 10th in the draft order on the reverse side, you know, that way. So they'll finish in the bottom 10 in my opinion. Coach Marty is always a great interview. He has a great hockey mind and doesn't always use the standard hockey cliches, which is something I really like about him. He's refreshing and he's a winner. You watch and see.
At coolhockey.com, you'll find your favorite team's officially licensed jersey. Blank, pre-sewn, or hand-sewn. Your favorite team, your favorite player's name and number on the back. Or hey, put your own name on the back. Competitive pricing, custom stitching, fast shipping. Coolhockey.com. Tell them Talking Habs sent you. Click the link in the description of this video. Coolhockey.com.
If you like this video, give a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section. That's down below.
Check out that video over there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. And bye, everybody. Ciao, ciao.